Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel, comes out, which is today in 50 days. What a nice, even number. It's crazy. I can still remember when I did my first recording for this channel, it was 216 days until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and now it's kind of creeping up on us, I feel like. Before I know it, it's gonna be a month, and then suddenly it's like, wait, the game is like out next week? It is weird. There's recently been some rumors for a potential quote-unquote leaked direct, which I would definitely not necessarily trust too much. It's apparently in like a mail, and the mail looks like the most suspicious thing. Like, I don't know why Nintendo would send out a mail announcing a direct. I would call fake on this one, but I'm happy if we do see more, but I'm also fine if we don't. Honestly, at this point, 50 days is nothing. I want to talk about Link's house and a potential hub world in Tears of the Kingdom today, because that's the goal of today's episode. I want to reach Link's house, finally buy it so I can send Hudson to Tarrey Town to finally get that missing location over there. Now, I just want to say real quick, I did get some bows of recording. I ended yesterday on this boulder, Korok over there. Like here. Then I warped to Rito Village, got some bows, because there's some Korok seeds coming up where we need arrows for and bows, and I feel like at this point, you get the idea. I actually will just get rid of this strength and Lizal bow and use a good bow instead. But yeah, let's talk about it. So the house in Breath of the Wild is nice, it's cute. My favorite moment about it is honestly from the DLC when you put down that picture of you and the champions. It has a lot of flaws though, in my opinion. I like the idea of having a house in general, the house obviously being over there in Hateno. There's some hints in the game that this actually used to be Link's house in the first place. So you're basically buying a house that you've already owned in the past, which is a little bit upsetting, but I guess that's business for you. Now, my main complaint with the house is the actual upgrades currently. You can pay 100 rupees to upgrade your house, and these upgrades come in the shape of a, for example, gear display, this little shield that you can hang up there, and then you can display a weapon, a bow, a shield, and that's cool in general, but having to upgrade each of them, like, separately, I guess this is a personal problem for me in speedruns. You have to basically click, upgrade, gear display, shield display, and then this whole cutscene plays and you get one gear display for 100 rupees. I wish you could have made all upgrades at once and maybe even add some more meaningful upgrades, like a cooking pot. I know there's a cooking pot in front of the house, but like making one in the house, maybe some quality of life upgrades, like being able to repair your champion weapons, like an anvil, you know, being able to repair your champion weapons at home. There could have been multiple improvements on the house, and this is why I want to talk about Tears of the Kingdom, a game that might have the opportunity to improve on Breath of the Wild, or upon Breath of the Wild. And maybe take that idea even one step further and say, instead of a house, what if there's an entire, like, hub world similar to Tarrey Town? I guess Tarrey Town is the closest we have to a hub world, kind of like a city that we built where you can buy arrows, you can repurchase gear, etc. But I want to take that idea one step further and think about other ways we could make this hub world even better. Of course, since this is a LimQ Plus video, at this point there's no getting around talking about Elden Ring, a game that I talk about here all the time because it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, casual game of all time. Yes, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game because of speedrunning, but playing Elden Ring I think was my personal favorite experience in gaming. And they have a hub world over there. That's pretty common in the From Software games. They have some sort of hub world, from Dark Souls, Firelink Shrine to Bloodborne's Hunter's Dream to Elden Ring's Round Table Hold. And what you can do in that hub world is you can upgrade your weapons, you can purchase spells, you can spend your runes, which I guess in Breath of the Wild would be something like rupees, to get stronger and just rest for a while, maybe talk to some NPCs. Now, what if in Tears of the Kingdom we had a hub world, for the sake of the game, let's say in the sky somewhere, where we can, for example, we already talked about crafting, right? Crafting weapons potentially being a thing. One thing that I am almost sure of is that we're gonna have some sort of garage. The way I always explain it is, the Akkala Tech Lab, yes, has this robot up there called Sherry. You can talk to this robot and purchase stuff like ancient arrows, ancient weapons, etc. This is pretty much exactly how I'm imagining the garage/vehicle feature is going to be in Tears of the Kingdom. To me, there is still absolutely no way... also, let me this shot specifically, there's a cool shot you can do here, where you go into bullet time, wait for the balloons to get close to each other, and then miss completely, and then boom. So Cherry, that robot, that's in my opinion how vehicles are gonna work. Maybe we get a machine like that in this potential hub world, which may or may not exist. Because there is no way to me that you always have to go around the world finding vehicle parts and then stick them together. In my mind, the way this is gonna work is... I'm gonna eat a bunch of apples here, by the way. You find those parts once, maybe use Link's arm to like scan them, and then you own these parts. And then you go to this machine in your hub world or wherever it will be, and it'll be like, you want to build a car? Okay, this will cost you 4 wheels, which you have to have found previously, 1 connecty thing, and let's say 10 glue. I'm gonna call it glue. That green glue we see basically used in all of the vehicles. Maybe that's gonna be some sort of resource that you have to find in the world or have to spend and can't spend infinite of, so you can't just build infinite vehicles. Maybe you can. That's the sort of machine or the sort of garage is something that I could imagine being in a hub world. Maybe they will take it one step further, and other than crafting, you can also actually improve weapons. How did I just damage this guy? I like fell against him. Link literally like... he like tripped. Link like tripped and I did damage to the Talos. That was interesting. Maybe you can take it one step further, improve your weapons in that hub world. I already talked yesterday about the fact that potentially you can upgrade your vehicles or even the paraglider, because I saw somebody make this point in the comment section and they thought it's a great point. In a game where we already have so many different ways to fly, the paraglider is almost going to feel kind of redundant, so having it receive some extra features, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. And if that idea with upgrading the paraglider ends up being real, I think that potential hub world would be a great place to go about it. Now, in terms of NPCs, I don't know if this would be something like Link's house in general, or like Link's little outlook, if it was in the sky, or underground cave if it was underground. That's one way to go about it. Or again, it's kind of like this whole village, more like Tarrytown. Link's like home village, it's like home base, maybe the home base of the resistance against Ganondorf. It would be cool to obviously have some NPCs there that you can talk to. Again, potentially purchase stuff from. Having like your own shop that always restocks right on your doorstep is a nice thing. A nice thing that Tarrytown added to your game, where if you were struggling with arrows, for example, you could easily go to Tarrytown, purchase a bunch of arrows, and eventually they would restock. There's actually a pretty intricate system on how a restocking shops works in this game. It depends on where you are in the game and how much stock you have in your inventory. But having a feature like that, in my opinion, would be beneficial. I do need to be careful, as always, when I play on this file. I've been recently actually relearning the Old Shrine speedrun, which has been a blast. I'm going to be doing a speedrun in probably around 3 hours from when this video goes live, because I still have to go to the gym. But obviously in that speedrun you also have infinite fairies and you can basically do whatever you want. I don't in this file, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit more careful. But anyway, we haven't seen Link's house reappear, even though there is a shot of Hateno in the Tears of the Kingdom trailer. So we don't know if it will be returning, if it will be changing, and let's say it isn't. I do really think we're gonna get a replacement in the shape or in the form of another house, or even a full-on hub world. And I think those are some of the features that I would like to see there. Weapon repair, crafting improvements, vehicle building, maybe vehicle improvement as well. Again, if there is some sort of building mechanic, building your character, which in this case is Link. I talk about this a lot of time, like often, that this is something I personally like about video games, when they give you an option to make some sort of build. For example, use specific armor that like buffs, let's say, spear attacks, to specialize on using spears. If you can do that, maybe changing your setup is another thing that you could do in that hub world. In Hollow Knight, for example, you can always do it when you sit down on a bench. But again, those are the sort of things I think hub world would make sense for. I made a video a long time ago. This was actually when that Nintendo Direct happened, where they kept talking about crafting. How Tears of the Kingdom could implement a crafting system. Link already has this like little apple orchard next to his house in this game. So adding a little bit of like unwinding and like chill features to that hub world / house could be cool, like adding a farm where you can potentially plant down your favorite fruits from the game that you use for specific cooking buffs to multiply them could actually be pretty cool. And obviously cosmetic upgrades are something that I'm also always fond of. Again, in this game they went for the gear displays and adding stuff like beds, but making that a little bit more fleshed out and maybe giving players options so everybody can have their own unique house instead of eventually arriving at the same house. Like in this game, if you get all of the upgrades, eventually you are gonna have the exact same upgrade, the exact same looking house than anyone else. It could even be as easy as like changing your roof color, which is something they've obviously done in Animal Crossing. But I think that would actually go a long way to give players just customization options and be pretty cool. Now, I'm about to reach the house here. We are at 90... We will be ending this episode at 93%. We've actually been getting a single percent every single day. But again, I can give you the exact data. As far as the 100% route is concerned, we are... I'm pretty sure like 840 Korok seeds in, which means we are... Which makes it seem like we're missing some. I definitely did spend some Korok seeds, if I remember correctly, for bow upgrades, right? There's no way you start with... There's no way you start with... Well, we're gonna have to do some Korok hunting later on. I definitely remember spending some Korok seeds before. Apparently we should already be having 830. Once we reach the end of the route, though, we will see how many Koroks we still have to hunt down. That will probably take some episodes, as I keep saying. But you guys have been giving me infinite ideas on what I can do once I reach the end of the 100% route and eventually 100% map completion. So I'm gonna be good to go for that. Now we'll go over here and finally buy the house. This is what I, in recent episodes, spent some money on. Looks like it's the middle of the night right now though, so... The boys are not around. This is usually where the cooking pot is. I guess it's just not loaded in. This is something that can commonly happen when you perform wind bombs. There we go. That took especially long. Gonna purchase a house here and then send Hudson off to Tarrytown and continue from here tomorrow. We're gonna make our way through Hateno one more time and then eventually finish up Lanayru and Akkala, which is where the route will pretty much come to an end. And then I have a big list of other things to do. But let's get this house. Let me know if you think a... Oh, I already bought the house? I don't remember buying the house. I guess I just never sent Hudson to... Wait, this must have been like 100 episodes ago. I just never sent Hudson to Akkala. Well, that saves me some money. Oh wait, no, I did this like recently, never mind. When I was getting money, I actually did go for the step, just didn't send Hudson to Akkala. That must have been what happened. Anyway, we definitely sent him there now, which means we can now officially get the Tarrytown location. All that, though, tomorrow... Well, probably not. Tarrytown is probably gonna be in like a couple episodes from now. And then we are hunting down missing Koroks and locations. But thank you for watching. As always, we are on 93%. 50 days until Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. 49 tomorrow. I will be making another video as every day. Let me know your thoughts about hub worlds and wishes for what could be in it. Peace.